How's that going?
It's interesting.
Yeah.
It's unlike anything I've ever prepared for. Like in my field, like psychology, you have to take the GRE, or for some schools, it's required to take the GRE, and that's an objective psychology test. You study psychology. This test is not on laws or anything. It's on logic and reasoning. So it's almost like studying to answer a bunch of almost word problems. So it's something else.
It's a little bit different.
Yeah.
Angle.
I've been enjoying it though.
Yeah.
But it
seems like you would get into it.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I think with the conversations that we've had, and it seems like you'd be all into that stuff.
It's yeah. So I can't complain too much.
When do you do that test? Or
April.
Wow, that's like right around the corner.
I wanted to take it next month, but I missed the deadline.
You're like, I'm going to be a lawyer, and like 2 months later, you're like, I'm going to take the test.
Yeah, well, I mean, I always considered it. And I would tell people, like, if life were longer, I would also go to law school, because I was going to get my PhD in psychology and do forensic psych. But this just kind of pushed me over. I was always kind of like, one or the other would be all right. But I was leaning towards psych, but now with everything going on now, it's like, this takes precedent.
Yeah. What is your, like, hope for, or like, what would be your dream gig or your dream thing to do with your law degree once you get it?
I would love to work for an organization like the ACLU, or maybe do some advocacy with the ACLU. I'd like to do pro bono work as much as I can, but I would also like to do some psychology stuff, like maybe assessments, things like that.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
I mean, a lot can change in 4 years, but that all sounds really exciting. Is it 4 years? Why did I say 4 years of school? I guess
it's 3. Yeah.
3. Okay.
Yeah. Because earlier today I was like,
you can be a lawyer by the time Trump is still in office. Dang.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Maybe you can take him to court.
Yeah. Right. Who hasn't at this point?
I know, right? Ugh, it's so crazy.
Yeah. So just everything, his bullshit is bleeding into everything. So even as far as like Meta is concerned, there's everything that happened with TikTok, which happened just last week. And I know everyone was really upset that they were going to get rid of it, and it was shut down for all of 12 hours.
It wasn't very long at all.
Yeah, like we went to bed not being able to access it, and then I woke up the next day and there was a local performer who had posted like TikTok's back, and I was like, what? Okay. So I looked and it was, but it feels different now. And I've read a lot of speculation that people are worried that like Zuckerberg and Musk are involved in it somehow, and they're trying to create like a state-run media with it, because I don't think it's still like this, but in the first day or so you could search Democrat and like nothing would show up, but you could search all of the Republican shit and it would show up. Yeah. So I think a lot of people are taking a step away from a lot of these social media platforms.
Yeah, I mean, I see a lot of people are saying I'm leaving Facebook. I haven't seen too many people say they're leaving Instagram, but obviously TikTok, it seemed like everyone was just getting booted, but yeah. But I don't know. I think, I mean, it seems almost, I don't know. I think everyone has to make that decision for themselves and what they feel comfortable with. And I think it's just a good place to, like, make a point in a statement than not. I don't think it necessarily is a negative statement if you do stay on those platforms.
No, and I think, us staying on them, I think that there are going to be a lot of people that stay on those platforms, and I'd like to be a source of comfort on there, but...
Well, I think it's even more important that people like us remain in those places, because they're going to become, especially the metas, they're going to become more hostile environments. It's like, they talk about like how like Instagram and like these social medias were like just great spaces for trans and non-binary and other marginalized folks already. No, it wasn't, like it was already fairly hostile.
Oh yeah.
So I can't even imagine it getting back.
Oh yeah.
Even though we have dealt with that a little bit.
Yeah. I just think if they removed those protections, so like being able to say certain words, personally, okay, dealing with like angry cis men, I feel like the only thing that makes them more upset than telling them like that they're being hysterical
Mm-hmm.
is by calling them the F slur.
Mm.
So I will be weaponizing it in that sense.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I guess it's one way to take the power of the word back.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, that's one thing that brings me a little bit of joy.
My favorite emoji is the yawn emoji. If anybody's been on our TransJoy accounts, they'll see the yawn emoji a lot because people are just saying the same crap we've heard all the time, calling me a dude or saying we're mentally ill or why is this in my algorithm? Well, I think that's more about you than it is about me, bud. But you know, all that sort of crap, but whatever.
Yeah. I've seen some people say that they're leaving Facebook and like to go find them on Instagram. And I find that sort of funny because it's still Meta.
Yeah.
Like Meta owns it consists of Facebook, Instagram, Threads, and WhatsApp.
Mm-hmm.
So that doesn't quite make sense. So the protections that were removed on Facebook were also removed on Instagram.
Yeah.
So and that is a huge amount of the social media platforms that we use. So it feels like we are having fewer and fewer places to go.
Yeah. Well, and there's a good chance though that I think these places could become a lot like X. You know, or the app formerly known as Twitter.
Yeah.
Like it got to be where like, okay, great, let's do it your way, Elon Musk. And nobody wants to be on there anymore. Like brands are leaving, people are leaving. Like it's just not even cute in like any way. And so I just think if Facebook decides to do that and Instagram, they're gonna end up the same.
Oh yeah. I know on Reddit, because I spend way too much time on Reddit, all of the subreddits are banning any Twitter related content or links or anything at all.
Oh wow.
Which I think is really cool because it's just Reddit, you know, but I think it's at least taking a little bit of a stance.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm sure there are some subreddits that aren't like the conservative subreddit, but it's nice to see.
Conservatives Reddit?
Yeah, they have a conservative subreddit. I'm banned.
I've never really done Reddit. I think I've been on there once or twice, but I didn't see too many. I didn't think there would be too many conservatives.
It's usually not, but there are a couple like subreddits, like little groups that are just for them, and they're just a nightmare. But a lot of them are kind of coming around, just being like, "Well, we feel lied to." Like, well, we told you.
Right.
So
yeah. So what are we gonna do about this like thing? Do you think?
Well,
or what are we gonna do? Do we have something?
Yes, we have some exciting news, and we were just talking about it earlier. We just had a meeting immediately before filming this, and we are going to be setting up a community for like online for everyone to be able to access and talk to each other, you know, watch videos, everything.
Yeah. So to just be like an app, right? Like I'm like we're still developing it, so it's like I'm like, what do we say, what don't we say? But we're working on creating this app that you could just download, the TJB or TransJoy Boise app on your phone, and then you can get into it and basically all the things you would do on social media you could do there. We could chat. We could have like kind of like the Reddit groups where people, what are those called?
The subreddits,
the channels or whatever, where people can talk about different things. We can post about events. And it'll be like a safe place where obviously people won't be getting harassed or any of those sorts of things that we would deal with.
Oh yeah, we'll have moderators for it. It's similar to Discord, but beyond a little. It's really cool. I think we're going to be able to have a little bit of everything on there. We'll be able to bring on other groups in the community where they can have their own channels and have whatever they want on there as well. I think that it's going to be really positive for our community just because, you know, it's going to be trans-led and it's going to be a community full of like-minded people that are experiencing all of this together and supporting each other.
Yeah, definitely. And so if you are listening or watching us, please do put in the comments or message us somehow if you'd be interested in joining a community like this. We are starting to collect a list of folks who are interested so that as soon as the app goes live, we can have you be the first ones in on it.